Greetings, fellow citizens of Disneyland. Brickey here. Today's adventure, we're looking at the 20th anniversary of Downtown Disney and all the businesses that are still standing. And when we went inside of Disney's California Adventure, we caught this amazing vanilla sky. Oh, it was a beautiful sunset to capture inside of DCA. Feels so great to be back in the parks. We also found a little bit of the new 2021 merchandise sprinkled around the resort. And during these tough times, a couple of businesses have packed up and gone away. All of this and so much more is covered in today's What's New at Disneyland. What do you say, friends? Let's take a rip all around the Disneyland Resort and figure out what's new that's happening this week. Downtown Disney turns 20 years old this week. And I'm sure this isn't the way that anybody thought they would want to celebrate the 20th anniversary. But over the last year, we've all become accustomed to anniversaries, birthday celebrations, feeling a little bit off. So it's fun to see the Disneyland Resort really try to get behind the idea of 2021. It's a new year. It's a new attitude. Hopefully good things are on the horizon. And even though we started this week with the great news that the Disneyland Resort would become a vaccine distribution center, so many of our citizens here in Southern California can get vaccinated, which is one step closer to getting back into the resort. But yeah, we ended the week with the news that our Disney Annual Pass program was being retired, although there was some optimism in the statement from Ken Potrock, Disneyland Resort president, that I believe is a good news for the future. So make sure you go check out my video where I break that down thoroughly. World of Disney is one of the opening day businesses in downtown Disneyland. And as we all know, it went over a major transformation a few years back and has really opened up to become a much larger feeling store, easier to navigate, and as a companion to its sister store out in Florida. One of the great things about World of Disney being open right now is it has a lot of the merchandise that theoretically would be inside of the park if it were open. Therefore, World of Disney gives all of us a little bit of a feeling of actually being inside of Disneyland. Even though nothing will actually feel that way, it has been nice to go in there and just see the merch, capture the vibes. And speaking of capturing the vibes, Marceline's Confectionery is the taste of Disneyland, but outside of the gates. These first two original day businesses in downtown Disney and the two that are directly owned and operated by Disney out of the opening class of businesses that have now been here for 20 years. It's nice that these two businesses are keeping that feeling of being in the park alive. One of the retail spaces that have been here for the entire 20-year run is the Lego store. What I love about the Lego store is that it adds that bit of magic with all of its displays wrapped around it. When you used to be able to go over there and actually play with Lego and that active area, this just tells you immediately when you're coming up to the head of downtown Disney, this is a different type of shopping center. This is a different type of plaza, and quickly sets the pace that this is a different environment you're going into. Now, Naples Restaurante and Bar, this has been around for the entire 20 years as well. Recently underwent a major overhaul that I believe plussed it so much. It's a very, very beautiful part of downtown Disney and that it's sleek and modern, yet also matches well with its arts and crafts counterparts. It's a very nice blend of a modern lower level within the craftsman style up on the topper half, which ties this side of the street in with across the street, which is the Grand Californian Hotel with rooms that go over the top of downtown Disney. This to me is a premier dining spot because right here on this island, during normal times, you would have a sea of people that are going in and out of the park on the main thoroughfare, but then you also have this walkway connecting people over to the tram, making it really in the center of just a hustling, bustling little community of people on their way to do something magical for the day. Cattell is one of my favorite vibe locations in downtown Disney. For 20 years now, it has operated this island in the middle area here, this football-shaped courtyard that really swells to the left and the right. And there's just something so fantastic about being on your way to meet friends in the park, but just cruising past people, sitting out on this island, just enjoying drinks, food, having that leisure around you. I've come to realize gives you a contact buzz of good times. I remember the very first time I came to the resort, leaving that night and just walking by and see people out here dining and eating. I just said, man, the fun in Southern California just goes on all night long. Its companion location, Uwe Bar, right across the street there, is a nice little courtyard of dining inside of those two doors. And then there is a upper restaurant that has the balcony that goes around. Never took advantage of eating at that upper floor restaurant, but definitely did celebrate my first ever poster that I created for the Wonderground Gallery when I was a part of their artist series. And I had a cheeseburger in that restaurant to celebrate. Hey, we did it. One of the things anyone who's ever owned a business knows about retail, it's location, location, location. And La Brea Bakery for 20 years has been in a very interesting spot. It's by itself. It doesn't have any business directly across from it, making it a transitional business from the edge of downtown Disney to the start of the Esplanade, being across from Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. I don't feel like enough people take advantage of its massive balcony. Ralph Brennan's Jazz Kitchen has a sizable footprint at the head of downtown Disney. It has an express option over to the side, 2 levels of dining, patio sitting, really trying to give you the vibes of being back in New Orleans. And even though a lot of restaurants currently are sitting this out, they are using the Jazz Kitchen's Express, where you can come up to this kiosk, use your mobile phone to order everything from your phone, and then go around the corner to the alleyway to pick up your treats. On this particular day, they had a blowout beignet 20th anniversary going. I believe it was 20 beignets for $20, so $1 a beignet. But wouldn't it be even better to have a beignet while sitting inside of that locked up courtyard, giving you the vibes of New Orleans Square? I do enjoy the businesses that fully embrace being a part of downtown Disney and have these roadside attraction type displays. It just adds the magic and lets you know you're someplace kind of different. Over here is the Express that's been around for 20 years as well. This is the mid-afternoon crowd trying to get that beignet deal. But oh, look what it was like close to close when I had wrapped up my day at the Disneyland Resort. Quite a healthy line for the 20 beignets for $20. There are so many things that we've all been robbed of over the last year due to COVID-19. Anniversaries and celebrations are one of them. This is not the way that anybody expected that they would usher in 20 years of downtown Disney. Sephora is one of 2 national brands that have been here for the entire 20 years. They had a small little table of deals out there. Not really a makeup guy, so I didn't partake, but no judgment on you if you are. And then the other corporate business that has been there for the entire stretch is Wetzel's Pretzels. Next door neighbor to the bathroom for some reason I seem to use the most, but also a great place where we would have a little snack before we'd go over to the Wonderground Gallery and do signings. This gentleman with the walking stick goes to the resort every single day. Seeing him mix it up with all the cast members, it just makes Disneyland feel like it is truly a real little community. I always love capturing those moments. So there you go, friends. There's all the businesses that have been a part of downtown Disney for its entire 20 years of operation. Before we get into looking at some new merchandise that popped up inside of DCA, let's just sit back and check out this amazing vanilla sky that I was able to capture. Typically, I leave the park a little bit earlier because I go and record Disneyland For Designers with my good friend, VIP tour guide, Philander Butler. But this evening, I didn't have that, so I got to sort of schedule everything a little bit later and do my live stream after sunset. I do a live stream once a week from the Disneyland Resort. But man, what a blessing it was to just be able to sit back and soak in this beautiful sunset that I was able to capture. As many of you may recall, we were once able to go even further down this thoroughfare. This is Performance Corridor. When DCA first opened, we were able to go so much further and could see the edge of Cars Land and a little bit of Paradise Pier. But right now we're stuck at this rope. But man, I just was thinking about standing over on the edge of the pier and watching the sunset behind the Mickey Fun Wheel. Ooh, what a view. And speaking of a view, here in the offset hub of Disney's California Adventure, just look at the beautiful Carthay Circle with its cream-colored walls that just reflect and absorb all of the light that's around it. One of my favorite things about looking down Hollywood Boulevard is always doing the blue test. Does the blue of the wall match the blue of the sky? not so close right now, but it's going to get closer this evening. Look at those clouds. You just can't beat a good sunrise or a sunset at the Disneyland Resort. It's all so designed to just make perfect weather feel even more magical. It's enjoyable seeing everybody walk down the street and have a good time. Seeing lots of couples coming out to the resort, lots of people using this moment to make some Instagram and TikTok content. Just fun to see people out enjoying themselves. This street with its soft color palette just absorbs the warmth of sunset every evening, which is great because it's really hard to get good footage of it when the sun is setting because it's normally cast in a shadow. Oh, this footage is going to feel insane, hopefully, in just 2 years. The new refinishing on Walt and Mickey here and the storyteller statue looks fantastic, absorbing all the light around it. I just always like to go up to Walt and just say, hey man, thank you. Thank you for everything that you did and how you changed all of our lives. Nothing will ever beat the partner statue, but the storyteller statue, it does have a warm spot in my heart. And then once more, back over to the offset hub as that sun is really coming down and the sky is maturing. Just look at that cotton candy cloud behind Carthay Circle. Oh, makes me wish that Snow White was premiering there this evening. And it is very hard for me to even imagine that that building is actually a little bit taller than Sleeping Beauty's castle. Sleeping Beauty's castle obviously has a lot more forced perspective, but it also benefits from the way that the landscaping around it pushes it up, pushes your eyes up into the sky. I always gave this building a little bit of a critique as I said that it felt 2 stories too small, but it's a big boy. Gone Hollywood has done something very un-Disney. It is now closed Monday through Thursday, I believe, and open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That is very unlike the resort to have a shop that's closed during the weekdays. All right, let's do that blue test now. It's getting really hard to figure out where the blue wall ends and the real sky begins, and I am loving that. Studio Store has removed its outside holiday items that were 70% off. It's put in some of the New Year's merchandise as well as some of the classic old favorites. Feels like a lot less merchandise sitting out here right now. And I don't remember that area that the couple just walked up to being open. The old classic Disneyland Spirit jerseys back, bringing people in. They must have sold 50 to 100,000 of these bad boys. Studio 17, transformed over into the Studio Backlot Premiere Shop, is kind of acting as a second world of Disney. Anything to get more people shopping, to give more occupancy to the park right now that it's limited. The Disneyland 2021 collection is pretty graphically strong. I don't know that if I could personally wear it, but I do like how bold and graphic it is. And many times it says Disney without ever actually completing the word. I thought these little Mickey plushes were pretty fun if that's your thing that you're into. I do like the pattern that goes around Mickey's head and onto his ears there. And pie-eyed Mickey is always my favorite Mickey. Oh, look, it's Grogu. See, I can get it right if I slow down. Nice seeing the Monsters, Inc. Laugh Factory lit up at night. This is such a bizarre corner of DCA. Out of all the corners to have open to have access to, it had to be the back lot. Not that I don't want to say that I'm grateful for it, because I am. But if you had to pick, could you have possibly picked that you wanted to spend this time in the back lot? I do like the way that this is all lit up. I just wish that I had better memories of more things happening there. The animation building currently in its state of green, but don't worry, soon it will bounce back to that beautiful Disneyland blue. And while we're waiting, just look at the detailing on the right of the part of the building that is off the page. Look at all the detailing in the stonework there. That building has got a lot of artistry in it. Come on, go blue, baby. Yeah, there it is. I like the blue version of the animation studio so much better. All right, blue check. Oh, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Let's zoom back and see how it looks from a distance as we've come to the very edge of where we can go. Oh, that's pretty close. You squint your eyes, it's the real deal. And every artist knows when you look at your work, you squint your eyes to see what it looks like from a distance. Fairfax Market, this has become my spot. I get here, which is the furthest that you can get from the opening of Downtown Disney, and I sit on that bench for about 30 minutes and just soak it in. All right, Sprinkles is one of the businesses that has temporarily gone away. I guess they just weren't doing enough business post-holidays. Didn't make sense. Though they have shut down this location of Sprinkles, they do let you know that there are other locations that they still have available here in Southern California. And then Asian Street Eats, which was sort of a mobile type restaurant that sat in front of the old Rainforest Cafe. They have closed up shop and they're gone. I mean, literally, the building is gone. They're out of here. No more Asian Street Eats. There's so many factors that could have been the reason why they left, but I felt like the restaurant never really established a good practice of time and availability. So it's gone. But if you remember, it used to sit right in this spot here. Whenever you see the black bar on my videos, you know that we're time traveling. So here we are back in December when Asian Street Eats was still sitting here. And I guess they just came out and scooped the whole thing up and pulled it out. I would be very, very shocked if we see this come back. Because as I'm saying, I don't feel like it ever really fully had an opportunity to make a connection with the Disneyland community. And a lot of times it just, quite honestly, it wasn't open. So now we have a fully exposed Rainforest Cafe, which is very interesting how everything that was once sort of a part of the proposed Disneyland hotel that was coming, a little bit of a battle with the city of Anaheim, it didn't mature and come to play. The movie theater, complete dead zone. Here we see the Rainforest Cafe, dead zone. They have used the ESPN zone for some pop-up events and to do a couple of different little things. But mostly, everything that was on the chopping block on the other side of the monorail, minus the building that the Starbucks shares, it's just set largely empty. And now would be a wild time for any business to come in here. I've heard other people like Fresh Bake say that this is going to get turned into a Star Wars store. I would just be really surprised if Disney was going to commit that kind of money to a location like this. From what I hear, it's kind of a disaster on the inside. I think the Wonderground Gallery is doing good business, even though thematically this would match so much more. I don't think Disneyland wants to get too comfortable in this version of Downtown Disney, hoping that the storm passes way sooner than later. But this is a very huge footprint. It's a pretty extravagant build out. Something pretty perfect would have to go in there and take it. So I would just assume that this is a total demo, just space that they're kind of holding on to for whatever lies ahead. Standing over here in an area that normally would be so busy with everybody flooding in, just completely quiet. All right, friends, before I show you this week's park sounds, I want to thank you for showing up. Please give this video a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. And friends, until the next time I see you in a busy downtown Disney, I'll see you back here on the channel with more Disneyland news. Enjoy this Disneyland park sounds.
Plan won't work unless you help. I don't have clearance. My hands don't scan. Yours do. If you raise your hands, I get the clearance and the chaos begins. It's a foolproof plan.